Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Daniel here with another video looking at the Warner region. So today I'm on the Newcastle quayside on the banks of the River Tyne. And what I'm looking at is the plans that were put in place to blow up the Tyne Bridge, which you can see behind me, in the event of a German invasion of the British Isles. In November 1939, 2 months after the start of the Second World War, a Newcastle office clerk named George Duke was arrested for taking a photograph of the Tyne Bridge. The United Police Inspector at the time of the arrest remarked, "Apparently some people do not know they cannot take photographs of bridges." At the time, George Duke was aged 57 and from the Elsick area. He told the police court that he knew military objectives could not be photographed, but he thought this meant soldiers, guns and camps. He did not think that he was doing anything wrong by photographing the Tyne Bridge, as picture postcards of the bridge were being sold across Tyneside at the time. He did, however, tell the court that he realised that he had been indiscreet and had perhaps jeopardised the safety of the bridge and damaged the war effort. For his troubles, he was fined a total of £5 plus costs. The Tyne Bridge was opened in 1928 and is one of Britain's most iconic structures and has established itself as a landmark. Linking Newcastle-upon-Tyne and Gateshead in the northeast of England, the bridge has become a symbol of Tyneside, an emblem of the region's cultural identity, and a monument to the Tyne's industrial past. Following its grand opening by King George V, the bridge's unique crescent arc design has become recognised around the world. Indeed, legend has it that the Tyne Bridge formed the inspiration for the Sydney Harbour Bridge. During the course of the Second World War, the Tyne Bridge was a conspicuous visual reference and a prized target for German bombers. The first deadly Luftwaffe raid against Newcastle occurred at 5:30 p.m. on the 2nd of July 1940, when a small group of bombers flew in from the North Sea and up the River Tyne towards Newcastle. A member of the Royal Observer Corps, stationed at Kenton Bar, followed one of the raiders through binoculars, reporting aircraft approaching from the east. The aircraft, which were Dornier 17s, released bombs which narrowly missed the Tyne Bridge. The bombs from the Dornier 17s narrowly missed the Tyne Bridge and landed over the adjacent Swing Bridge, while the bombers themselves passed over the Tyne, Swing and high-level bridges. One of the bombs hit Spiller's old flour mill on the Newcastle quayside. In total, 13 people were killed during the course of the raid, including several children, while 123 were injured. Tyneside newspapers were restricted from publishing information which might be useful to the enemy, and reported only that a high-explosive bomb fell on the poorer quarter of a northeast town, and the damage seems to have been confined to a disused flour mill. In August 1940, during the course of the Battle of Britain, Luftwaffe bombers once more returned to Tyneside. According to one story, an off-course Luftwaffe Heinkel HE-111, which was supposed to bomb the Tyne Bridge, accidentally flew 10 miles upriver and tried to bomb the WWII Railway Bridge. For more information on this, see my video on the bombing attack against the WWII Railway Bridge, link to which is in the description box below. One night in September 1941, a few days after a particularly devastating raid, and with blackout regulations in force, the electric lights on the Tyne Bridge suddenly began to blaze, illuminating the potential target for all to see. A steeplejack quickly scaled the bridge and extinguished one light, but was called down by police before he could move on to the others. Eventually, after half an hour of perilous illumination, council officials switched off the lights and plunged the bridge back into darkness. The cause of the inadvertent illumination was never revealed. On top of the threat posed by bombing raids, there existed, during the course of 1940 and into 1941, fears of an invasion of the British Isles, including along the northeast coast. With the threat of invasion hanging over the British Isles, vital structures were primed for deliberate demolition in order to slow the German advance. One such structure which was primed for demolition was the Tyne Bridge. The man with his finger on the demolition button was known as Andrew Clayton. Speaking many years after the war, Clayton, a military and security advisor who declined to give his real name, revealed that British intelligence expected the Germans to potentially land on the Northumberland coast and to advance south through Newcastle. According to Clayton, British intelligence expected that the assault on Newcastle would be assisted by paratroopers who would be dropped onto the town moor. In the event of a German invasion along the northeast coast, Clayton was to receive a telephone call which contained a code word, Humbug. The code word Humbug was a signal for him to blow up the Tyne Bridge, along with other bridges along the River Tyne. They also disabled the rail lines through Newcastle Central Station. Clayton could have been forgiven if he felt something akin to a shiver run down his spine at 2 o'clock in the morning on the 8th of September 1940. Indeed, on the 7th of September 1940, it appeared as though the dreaded invasion had started. At 21:25 hours, the code word Cromwell, which indicated that the German invasion was imminent, was flashed around the UK. Answering his phone, Clayton heard the voice on the other end say, "Humbug to you. I repeat, humbug to you." Clayton hurried to his assembly point, along with around 1,000 other men with different roles to help repel the invaders. Before Clayton could begin his mission and to blow up the Tyne Bridge, he was advised to stand down. It had all been a false alarm. Nevertheless, Britain remained on high alert, and it would not be until October 1940 that the warning levels were decreased. Ultimately, the Tyne Bridge was not destroyed by Luftwaffe bombers, nor by British defenders. Nevertheless, more deadly bombing raids on Tyneside, around 31 in total between 1940 and 1943, would kill and injure many more men, women and children, and destroy hundreds of homes, and cause damage to many other buildings. The newspaper, the Evening Chronicle, would later report, "All throughout all of this, the Tyne Bridge stood firm, a symbol of the determination of the people of Tyneside to withstand all that the Nazis could throw at them." Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more updates, like and share. You can also help to support the channel at Patreon. Details are in the description box below.